Hello, my name's Kathy, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about how and why I became a healer, as well as my evolution in this area over the past 40 years. When I was a teenager, I became fascinated with vitamins and minerals and what they could do for your health if you had enough of them, and the damage that could occur in your body if you had serious deficiencies of any of them. I also did an extensive study of basic nutritional requirements for good health and became quite involved with experimenting and cooking the most nutritious meals that I could. I also was studying the health benefits of the practice of Hatha Yoga and its connection to good health. This was my start into the world of health and healing. Then, in my late teens, I moved to a remote series of islands in northern British Columbia, Canada, then called the Queen Charlotte Islands. Now they're called Haida Gwaii. I moved into a small and very remote logging camp with my partner of that time, where you could only come and go from the camp via bush float plane. One night, a storm with gale force winds blew in off the Pacific Ocean. The winds were so fierce that all aircraft were grounded. My partner chose this time to get deathly ill. He was so sick he was burning up with a fever and delirious. I was afraid that he might die. I was 19 years of age at the time and all alone with this very serious illness, and I knew of nothing I could do for him except to crush and dissolve vitamin C tablets with a little water and try to get it down his throat between his violent thrashings around times, and to sponge his body off with cool water to try to lower his temperature. I kept this up all through the night and into the next day until his fever finally broke and he drifted off into a deep, healthy sleep. It was that experience, that feeling of being absolutely helpless in the face of this health emergency, that caused me to make the resolution that I would never be that helpless in the face of an illness ever again. It was from that time that I started the formal study of herbal medicines. I studied and tried out the various cures and methods on myself and on my family and friends through the years with great successes. As an example, I learned of the value of using different water temperatures to heal various injuries through a friend that got the most serious ankle sprain I've ever seen in my life. It was so bruised and swollen, you would have thought that he had broken his ankle. But x-rays at the doctor's office proved that it was just a very, very bad strain. I would immerse his damaged foot and ankle in a pan of hot water for 20 minutes, to be followed immediately with a pan of very cold water for 20 minutes. And then the hot, then cold water treatment was to be repeated. I then followed this with a deep tissue massage and some range of movement exercises, and in a short while he regained full and complete use of his ankle and foot, something that he believed to this day would not have happened for him without this healing treatment. He thought he was facing having to walk with a cane for the rest of his life. From this type of experience, I gained confidence and experience in treating many different ailments through the years. I never just accepted information I read. I always felt the need to have personal experience of the cure before I felt I could recommend it to anyone else. Through those next 20 or so years, I learned and experimented extensively with all kinds of plant-based teas, decoctions, elixirs, tinctures, and so forth. I also studied Chinese medicine at this time. Then I began to study all forms of energy healing. I started with homeopathic remedies and Bach flower essences and acupuncture in the form of electrical stimulation to acupuncture points instead of the use of needles. I experimented on myself to see the effects and whether I thought they were of benefit to others. Then I moved into the study of healing with crystals. I studied this extensively and accumulated a very large collection of healing crystals, which I worked with extensively. While studying the healing qualities of crystals, I came upon Reiki. I studied and became a Reiki master and Karuna master. I performed hundreds of healings in nursing homes and hospices and at work, and learning and developing ever more energy healing skills and giving help and comfort to those in need. I delved further into energy healing practices and learned how to do energetic cord cutting. Energetic cord cutting healing is how you heal emotional traumas of all kinds. Through all of this study and learning over more than 40 years, I came to understand several truths concerning health and well-being. Number 1, stress and negativity are major contributors to illnesses. Your emotional state matters. Number 2, illness does not start in the physical body. It generally starts from a dysfunctional mental construct, or a story, if you will, that you keep repeating in your mind and you believe to be the absolute truth. You infuse this mental story with powerful negative emotions whenever you think about it, and that is generally quite a lot, and only then does it manifest in your physical body as an actual ailment. Number 3, because of this mind-emotional-physical body connection, you cannot just concentrate your healing efforts on just the physical symptoms. To achieve a full cure, you must also change the mental story that you have been telling yourself over and over as truth, and release the emotional charge that is associated with the ailment. Only then will a physical body cure happen. Number 4, using different combinations of herbs, homeopathic remedies, nutrition and vitamin therapy, water therapies, and energy healings are the best way to go, and not to just focus on one healing modality. Some healing modalities work really well in certain areas, while other methods work better in others. This is where experience comes in handy. Number 5, much to my surprise, I discovered that a great many people need their ailments for one reason or the other. If this is the case, you will not be able to help this person to good health until they lose their need for that ailment. The usual cause of this is that someone has learned to identify themselves as the ailment. An example of this is a person saying, "I have cancer," "I have diabetes," "I have whatever it is." Who they are as a human being is in part identified with the ailment. Some people derive a sense of importance and specialness from having a specific ailment. Some people have learned through the years that the best way for them to get attention and kind treatment from others is from being sick. They may say how awful it is to be sick with cancer or diabetes or whatever, and genuinely think that this is so. But that is not how their unconscious mind truly feels about the situation. In this case, you won't be able to help this person much at all. This type of thing came as quite a shock to me. I naturally thought that having an ailment was a bad thing. It was quite a learning curve to learn differently. Number 6, I also learned that you must have deep respect for the person you are helping as a healer, and that means that you must stand back and let them choose what they want to do for themselves. You may know of the better way, but loving and respecting the person in question is more important than proving yourself right. Sometimes, in order to love and respect a person, you need to step back and respect their wishes, even if it results in their death. Number 7, I also came to understand that sometimes an ailment happens to a person for a spiritual life lesson. They grow and become a changed person through the experience of a significant ailment. In this type of a scenario, it would be wrong for a healer to intrude on this much-needed experience. Learning when and what to do, and learning when to back off and leave the person can be difficult to discover. A strong connection to my higher self helps me to understand what is the correct way to handle any given health situation that crosses my path. Well, that's it for today. Till next time, keep naturally healthy.